What kind of car do you think I should get? Because I want something that is like a nice car.
I can buy her anything, by the way.
This is a great feeling. I don't want a new car. Right now, I think the car that I want is the new Toyota Land Cruiser.
What? You don't want a new car, but you want a new car? Okay, sure, whatever.
That came out.
Who the fuck is getting a $300 allowance in America with inflation the way it is? Are you kidding me? You could apply what I'm about to say to quite literally every aspect of your life and you will find success. And it is a simple thing. It is intensity times consistency times discipline. Right off the rip, I'm going to say something about Grant Cardone that I don't think I've heard anybody say. He reminds me of the modern day Trump, right? Trump back in the 60s, 70s, 80s when he was, a young man, got his hair and started working in it and started becoming the person who he is. I think Grant Cardone is just a little younger version of Trump. And granted, they're both a little older, but Grant is significantly younger. So even though he says some outlandish shit, right, don't take him literally, but take him seriously. A broken clock can be right twice a day is all I guess I'm trying to say.
Every 15-year-old kid should be doing this right now. If you're getting an allowance of $300 a month, buy a piece of real estate that pays you $30 a month. Only use the 30, don't touch the 300.
I'm gonna be a millionaire before I'm 20, and this is how.
Wow. Okay, so first off, can you buy a piece of real estate for $300 and get $30 in returns each month? I don't know of a specific example of it. The first thing that comes to mind is literally renting porta-johns and then renting them out to like different construction areas. But then there's a whole like side business of being able to sanitize it, distribute it. Like that seems like that's going to cost more than a $300 a month allowance. And then I'm even skipping over this. Who the fuck is getting a $300 allowance in America with inflation the way it is? Are you kidding me?
Well, guys, today's going to be a fun one. There is something strangely horrifying
What in the Aflac are we looking at?
yet entertaining about watching a person who is unbelievably out of touch with reality proclaiming how they think the world works. It's like reality TV, but better. Now, this is something we've looked at a lot on this channel because, surprisingly, it's a pretty common thing for those who get very popular on the internet. Who would have thunk? But today, we're looking at a different kind of out of touch. Those who amass great wealth almost always become disconnected from reality and sort of lose sight of the day-to-day struggles that the average person faces. It's kind of inevitable. However, this doesn't always have to be a horrible thing. Sometimes all people need is to be sat down and be told, hey man, you have no idea what you're talking about. And for a lot of people, that kind of snaps them back. Unfortunately, however, that does not work for everybody, and that is going to be demonstrated here pretty thoroughly today by the TikToks of Grant Cardone. Now, if you've never heard of this guy, he's basically a glorified course salesman who made a bunch of money from real estate. And now,
kind of sounds like Trump minus the course salesman just being an entertainer on TV. Now you don't even have to be an entertainer on TV. You just be an entertainer online and sell courses to your fucking Sigma males and beta males who need to figure out that hard work and a little bit of a plan is all you need.
he spends his days in Sigma male, alpha male edits, going on TikTok and giving out the worst, most out-of-touch financial advice a human being has ever provided. To be more specific, the financial advice he gives to parents is so laughable that I had to watch about a dozen videos before I could convince myself this guy is not just playing a character. These videos are hilarious, but they're also kind of depressing at the same time. It's gonna be kind of a roller coaster today. Strap in. Let's begin.
Please subscribe.
Strap in and strap on, baby.
Every 15-year-old kid should be doing this right now. If you're getting an allowance of $300 a month.
Alrighty, not even 5 seconds in, and we're already beginning to see the insanity unfold. Grant, buddy, do you think the average allowance for a 15-year-old is $300 a month? If I had to pull something out of my ass, I would have to guess that the average kid gets somewhere between nothing and $10 a week.
I honestly, I think it's nothing because of chores, and it's just like, hey, what are you gonna do for lunch? Okay, lunch with your friends, that's gonna cost about $20 for you. Okay, here's $20 via Cash App.
Not 75. But this is not even really that relevant because it's not even close to the craziest thing he's gonna say during this clip.
Buy a piece of real estate that pays you $30 a month. Only use the 30, don't touch the 300.
But how would a young, normal person get money?
How would a young, normal person get money? From your parents?
Side jobs, side hustles. I was 14 years old. I was working every weekend. I was mowing lawns, doing whatever I could to get some extra money.
No.
Okay, hold on. Before this guy goes, I will say this. When I was 14 years old, I was working every weekend. I was working at the paintball field Saturday and Sunday, and I was getting paid with paint and a little bit of, I think it was like $90 if I worked both days, so $45 a day plus a case of paint, right? Like for the whole weekend. The case of paint was for the full weekend, which was another $45 if you wanted to put it in a value. So I agree with Grant. And then also when I was even younger, I started drawing like comics. When I would come home from school, I would like physically draw a comic, put it on the printer, print a whole bunch of stuff out, and sell it to like my teachers for like 25 cents. Granted, that was like 3rd, 4th grade. I wasn't making money, but it was the idea of going home, working on a project, and dedicating myself to trying to be productive. Granted, I don't know really any other 3rd or 4th grader that was doing that I was doing. And then even going in and like, I wanted to be the best paintball player I could be. So I spent all my extra time that I could at a paintball field or watching paintball videos. Like, you have to get obsessed with something. And I feel like people are afraid of being judged by getting obsessed and nerding out about something. It's okay.
All right, Grant, are you fucking insane? Genuine question, not trying to be mean. Are you crazy? You're a real estate investor, Grant. That's your thing. I know that you know this is impossible. First of all, let's play fantasy land here for a moment and act like a 15-year-old could actually get approved for a loan to buy a piece of real estate. Sure.
You know what? The more I listen to this, the more kind of hate that I see on this from Grant Cardone. Tell me a 15-year-old can't start a YouTube channel, do re-uploads of a whole bunch of different things, right? Just to have a couple different YouTube channels, focus on re-uploads, get monetized, have some kind of way to get money, which I'm not saying this is like the most ethical way, but there's a lot of ways for 15-year-olds to make money nowadays. So what Grant's saying, I don't think is out of left field that much. Maybe the $300 to buy real estate that's going to pay you $30 each month, I think that's a little weird, but that's taking him literally and not seriously.
Sure, we can pretend that, I guess. You want children to go out and buy a piece of property that brings them in $330 a month while only costing $300 a month to finance. Okay, can you find me a single piece of property anywhere in the United States of America that...
Once more, I think of a porta potty or a porta john, whatever you want to call it. That's the only thing I could think of. And you're only getting one. You're going to have to be real efficient with that.
Fits that bill? That's like a $40,000 home, Grant. Can you find me a livable $40,000 home anywhere in America? Don't worry, I'll answer that for you. No, you can't. But for the sake of the argument...
I'm sorry, Mr. Affleck Duck, you probably can. If you go to like some of these foreclosed homes and some of these like Section 8 areas, you probably can find something. But at the same time, it's going to need a lot of TLC.
Let's just say you could. But unfortunately for you, Grant, I'm going to take away the fact that we're living in a fantasy world, back to reality. A 15-year-old is not going to have any sort of credits, no assets, no collateral, so they're going to have to come up with a down payment, probably.
I know I'm pausing this a lot. This is what happened to me. I went out to try to buy a gym outright, and the banks looked at me like, nice business plan. Where's your credit history? Sure, you've never missed a credit card payment, but you've never paid a mortgage. You don't even really have like a car that's in your name at this point in time because it was still under my dad's. I was paying for it, but still, it's building his credit, not mine. Like, totally.
Probably 25% for an investment property. That's 10 grand. Do you honestly believe that not only one, the average 15-year-old is getting a $300 a month allowance, but two, the average 15-year-old has 10 grand sitting in the bank? If you do, you're crazy, man. And this is just scratching the surface. There's tons of other things you need for a loan. Kids don't have 2 years tax returns, Grant. Look, it's one thing if you want to make videos for children who have parents that are multimillionaires, but to say every kid should be doing this, that's so out of touch, it's kind of unbelievable.
I'm gonna be a millionaire before I'm 20, and this is how. I work for my dad's company. I have a contract with them and I get paid every month. And that goes into real estate where I get my passive income and I get to spend that, but I never get to touch that principal. And over time, that principal in real estate will make me a millionaire.
When she does.
She's not wrong, but isn't that funny how we can have these creators who are like these successful early 20-year-olds will say, hey, I wake up, I write down my daily journal of what I want to accomplish for the day. Then I go work out. Before it's even 6 a.m., now I'm home and I'm crushing my ice, getting my vegan protein shake down, and I am journalizing my thoughts throughout the day, getting myself small wins, and then I'm going to go to work and I'm going to execute on all those little things. And also, by the way, my parents own the company. Like, you don't want to lead with that one?
Does more. I'll bonus her for stuff that she does. One of these TikToks goes to 10 million, I'm gonna give her a $10,000 bonus. So that 10,000 goes to buy real estate. So she makes 50.
Whoa! Okay, so that's not a $300,000. That's not a $300 allowance. That's a $10,000 bonus that she's using as a down payment for real estate. What?
A year. Let's say she averages 50 a year, which she will. She's doing a job, she's doing chores, she's doing work. I do not give her an allowance.
Okay, I mean, there's a lot going on
Yeah,
here.
no,
Like
Mr.
I said,
Affleck, have
most of
fun.
these videos are about his advice to parents, so most of these videos involve his kid. I'm not gonna be shitting on his kid. I think she's like 15, probably doesn't understand how out of touch the situation is. But the reason you're gonna be a millionaire before you're 20 is because your dad is worth $600 million. Yeah, that's kind of the cheat code. Also, Grant, you can say you don't give your kid an allowance if you just want to make shit up, I guess. Redefine what words mean and what not. But yeah, if you give your kid $50,000 a year for doing chores, that is an allowance. Now look, I want to make this.
No, it's not an allowance. She worked for the company. Bro, she's 15. I don't think she can legally work, so she's doing chores and like little things around the company or her dad's, workplace. She's helping out other people, running around doing little chores and whatnot. It's 100% an allowance.
This clear. I don't really have a problem with what this guy's doing. You absolutely should be investing for your children and setting their future up for them. I'm a very
Yeah, and if you don't agree with that, you probably shouldn't have kids.
firm believer that if you're not willing to invest in your child's future and give them the best shot at success possible and guarantee them a better start than you had,
don't have
you
kids.
shouldn't be having kids. The problem is how he doesn't seem to understand how out of touch this is, while simultaneously acting like this is some groundbreaking stuff. Yeah, you give your kid $50,000 a year and $10,000 here and there when a TikTok does well. No shit, she's gonna be a millionaire before she's 20.
Okay, the 50,000 times 10 years, which she will have at least 10 years, is 500 grand. If that money doubles because she never
This is Flux, the barefoot shoe that's made to move with you.
touched.
Okay. If we're going to do compound interest, that 500 grand, I don't think doubles. I think it's just, you get ideally you get 15% returns. That's what's safe. We're going to average 15% return year over year. That's 15 for 500,000. I'm not even gonna do the math. I don't think it's a million, guys. I think it's closer to like 750 to 800,000. But sure, if you want to round up. But once more, this is not the normal 15-year-old.
It, she's a millionaire. It will have paid her $300,000 in income that was not taxed, and I wrote off $500,000 of salary from.
There it is. Just follow the money trail. This is why he's paying his daughter the allowance and structured the way that it is, so that he can not evade his tax, but avoid paying the maximum amount. Which tax avoidance and tax evasion, one is just ethically a little immoral, and the other one is just illegal. Okay, there is a difference.
From the IRS. So it's a win-win for everybody. I'm never going to give a kid an allowance for living in my house. Shit, she's lucky to live in my house.
Yeah, okay, Grant. I don't know if this is an attempt by you to be snarky and just act like money means nothing to you. It just makes you look like a douchebag. We get it, $100,000 a year is nothing to you. Can't even qualify it as an allowance. I just don't understand the angle.
Parents are stupid to give their kids allowances. Here's how I get money as a 14-year-old. Every year,
I don't think if you're a parent and you're giving your kid an allowance, I don't think you're stupid. I think teaching them how to budget their money and say, hey, this is the amount of money you get each week, month, whatever, and they spend more than it, then they don't get any more, right? They went past their allowance. They're going to have to learn how to budget. They're going to have to learn how to stretch their dollar. I think that's a good thing. I don't think parents are stupid for doing that. And I also think it creates a beautiful opportunity. It's something that I'm going to do. I don't know if I'll give my kid an allowance, but it'll probably just be an allowance just to make it nice and easy to say, and say, hey, our goal is this is the money for you, and I'm going to help you grow the money like how I'm growing my money with different investments, whether it be in crypto or traditional stocks. I want to teach you at the earliest age how to do this, because I didn't start doing this and taking it seriously until I was 26, 27, 28 years old, which is still very early in the grand scheme of things. But if I started a literal decade beforehand, guys, I would be so much further ahead.
I'm paid a certain sum of money from the company for being an employee. This means I have certain obligations I have to fill. I have to
You're not an employee.
help people out around the office. That sum of money goes and gets invested into real estate. That real estate then has passive income, and that money I get paid with every month. I get paid $150, $400 every single month and get to spend that. But I never get to spend the principal income I have. So every year that principal, it stacks on top of each other, and over time my passive income becomes more and more.
Okay, so look, I'm not doubting that that's how you and your dad have handled you getting money, but let's all be on the same page here. That is an allowance. You get money that comes from your dad because it's getting paid out by your dad's company for doing chores around your dad's office. Yeah, that's an allowance. You
What
are
I said, but
describing being
even
a
better.
trust fund baby who gets an allowance. That's it. Again, nothing wrong with that. But stop trying to act like you guys are better than everybody else because you don't want to use the word allowance.
I don't think it's even them thinking that they're better than everybody else. I just think this is them trying to pass on advice to people who just don't have the same like ground footing, resources, all of the above to be able to take advantage of some of the things that they're saying. There are so many people who are so far behind in debt that putting aside $300 for an investment to pay them $30 a month is not going to be something that is financially a good move for them at the moment. And maybe I'm not the best I'm obviously not a financial advisor, so maybe it is. But at the end of the day, I just don't think people are financially savvy or financially educated or financially literate enough to really understand and digest what they're saying.
I bring home the deadbeat. He has a tattoo on his face like Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
This guy, what are you doing? Like, how are you going to react?
Number one, Mike Tyson can put a tattoo anywhere he wants. That guy you're with hadn't done anything. He hadn't won one fight, much less 50.
Holy shit, what a crazy thing to say to your daughter as a father. Yeah, as long as the guy you're with beats the shit out of people, he can do whatever he wants. That's kind of a weird thing to say, Grant.
I don't know. They're kind of on a podcast, and she's asking him like a question to try to get like an edgy response, and he gives her an edgy response. Like, come on.
Okay, but what if I really love him?
I'm going to tell you, man, you bring a kid home who's got a tattoo on his face, I got a problem with that. What were you thinking?
Yeah, it's pretty stupid.
What happened to you? Because all we know is this kid took and put tens of thousands of injections into his face. What thought process did he go through to decide to do that? Either did something out of one moment, or you took a long period of time to think about doing that. Either way, we got a problem. And now I got a problem with you because now you fell in love with some guy that makes weird decisions.
You know what?
What if it's like Ricky Banks from FaZe? I'm pretty sure FaZe Banks. Hold on, let's see. FaZe Banks. Does Banks have any? No, he just has neck tattoos. I was trying to see if Ricky had any type of face tattoo. He might. I don't know. There might be something hiding under here, but like neck, arm, hand tattoos like that. I don't know. I think you don't judge a book by its cover.
What, guys? I don't really like this. This is kind of weird. But honestly, I've got to respect the hustle. Sure, I could be talking out of my ass here, but I think we all know what's going on here. Look, you have me born into a family where my dad is worth $600 million. I'm gonna tell that motherfucker anything he wants to hear. Yeah, Dad, my boyfriend has a face tattoo. You should just fucking kill him. I'm not doing a single
Jesus
thing
Christ.
to mess up that inheritance. You want me to do a podcast where I agree with everything you say? Okay, sure, whatever. You gotta respect the grind.
What kind of car do you think I should get? Because I want something that is like a nice car.
I can buy her anything, by the way.
This is a great feeling. But I want something that's a nice car, but I also don't want it to be super flashy, super loud, nothing like that screams like, oh, I'm super spoiled. Just something that's like, it's a nice car. She probably comes from a good family, but that's all I want it to say.
She's trying to make it sound like she's not a trust fund baby or fed from a fucking silver/platinum food her whole life. And yet everything she just said and how she articulated it made it seem like so.
Said you were willing to have a used car with some scratches on it. Why'd you say that?
For sure.
Well, I'll be. What a nice young lady. You'd be willing to have a free car with scratches on it? Holy shit. Guys, do we have like a reward we can give her for this? Look, I'm not trying to be a douche, but come on. My first car was $200. It stopped working in 3 months. Somebody saying they'll take a free car with a scratch or two is not very impressive. Not to anybody outside of this kind of circle.
I don't want a new car. Right now, I think the car that I want is the new Toyota Land Cruiser.
What? You don't want a new car, but you want a new car? Okay, sure, whatever.
That came out. The Land Rover Defender. I like those kind of bulky cars. Like, they're not quite SUVs. The G-Wagon, like that kind of shape of car I like.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah, he's like, shit, you are making yourself look like a trust fund baby. I don't know about you guys, but I think even my first car, I had like a 1996 Mustang. It was still very nice. My grandfather got it for me. He saved up. My great grandpa was an amazing human being. So shout out to you, Grandpa Raymond. I love you and I miss you to this day. And he got me what was known to me and my friends as the Blue Coffin. And it had many times when we were driving that we thought we were in a death box. Whether a driver's side tire blew out and we're flying across, like, there was a lot that came to it. So ultimately what I'm trying to say is when you're getting a first car, and I'm going to do this for my kid, that is like the bumper car. That is like the Mario Kart Go-Go kart. And then after the second car, maybe the third car, depending on the kid, depending on the situation, depending on what you have resources to, then maybe you can help a brother or a sister out. Or I guess son or daughter in this case.
Toyota Land Cruiser is kind of the same kind of shape.
Yeah, the new Land Cruiser is pretty cool looking.
The new Land Cruiser is really cool.
Okay, look, I have nothing against this kid for wanting a nice car. Seriously, if my parents were worth $600 million, I'd be asking for something a lot fucking nicer than a Toyota, I promise you. It's okay to want nice things when you know that money means nothing to your parents. I'm not gonna sit here and hate on this kid, but if you're being genuine, if what you're saying is true, I'm really sorry to be the one that has to break this news to you, but getting a brand new $100,000 car for your 16th birthday does in fact scream, I'm super spoiled. Hell,
Nah, there's no way the new 2024 Land Cruiser market or MSRP. There we go. That's honestly, hold on. I think look at this. For a Land Cruiser, 2024 Toyota Land Cruiser, MSRP is $55.95. That's not a $100,000 car. It's literally half. Oh, wait, hold on. For a 1958 edition to 744 first edition, you'll need to add the 14 destination charge for this week. Okay, so maybe I was slightly wrong on that. Okay, maybe it is a $100,000 car.
it announces that you're spoiled to the entire universe. The average amount of money spent on a person's first car is $7,000. And that number is only so high because car prices were absolutely demolished by COVID. A six-figure Land Rover
I know my Mustang was about 35 to 4 grand.
or a $70,000 or $80,000 Land Cruiser for a first car? Yeah, sorry, but that's spoiled.
What age do you think I'll make it to $100 billion?
You could do that by the time you're 35 years old because everybody else around you is sleeping. Lazy's not the problem right now. They're indoctrinated. They're watching their phones. Their heads are going to be falling over their shoulders by the time they're 40. Any kid, you don't need to go to college. That's 4 or 5 years that you would waste. Put your head down now, find the right vehicle, the right opportunity, get in it, learn everything you can about it. Not the little stuff, but the big things that make
All
the
the big
thing grow.
details.
You could be 35, you could be one of the most influential people in the world.
Look,
Okay, hold on. No, look, Mr. Affleck. What Grant just said right there is 100% correct. Okay, 100% correct. Too many people right now are indoctrinated to think that they have to live their life in a certain way and they have to do certain things because that's what society wants. That's what the family pressure is all about, right? No, but this is you and your life, and you have to take your life by the fucking horns. And if there's something that you want to do, get in that vehicle, get in that thing, and learn everything you can about it. For me, it was fitness. I wanted to own a gym. I wanted to be able to bring a gym to the world, right? Start one from the ground up. So my first job was mowing the grass outside of the gym. Then it came in, it was cleaning the gym. Then it was running the front desk. Then it was becoming a trainer. Then it was becoming a head trainer. Then it was becoming the manager of the gym. Then it was the head manager of the gym. And eventually, I became a co-owner of the gym. And I learned so many lessons. Like I didn't want to own a gym anymore. And I just wanted to appreciate fitness, right? But I would never have gotten there unless I did the work. And for me, I did forego 4 to 5 years of college, right? And it granted me something that is not worth any salary in the world, right? Or not salary, any type of pedigree in the world, because like I got rings. I got world championship rings. How many people get to say that they wanted to do something and try to be the absolute best in it and had posters of people, of athletes who eventually become not just their rivals, but their friends? I can call up some of the people who I had posters of up on my wall. I can call them up and have a conversation with them, and I earned their respect. I want you to do that in your own life. Stop being a follower, stop being a sheep, be a wolf, be a lion, be a bear, take advantage of your own life. I know that sounds like some alpha Andrew Tate type shit, but there's some truth behind it.
Look, I'm sure this is probably just part of his shtick, but stuff like this is so disingenuous. You heard it here first, folks. Any kid, no matter what, can have $100 million worth of assets by the time they're 35 if they just put their nose to the grindstone.
I'm sorry, Affleck right now, this dude, I don't even know who this guy is. Hold on, let me see. August the Duck right now has a loser mentality. There's no way he gets to 1.99 million subscribers with this kind of mentality of just like, oh, the world is against me, and if I work real hard, I'm not going to be able to get past the ability of those who work hard and had already a lot of money beforehand. No. If you think like that, you're never going to get anywhere.
The fact that this girl's father is worth hundreds of millions of dollars gives her no sort of advantage whatsoever. It's just because all the other kids right now are lazy. That shit is so lame. I mean, seriously, be proud of the wealth you've created. Be proud of the opportunities you've opened up for your children and how easy you've made it for them. That's nothing to be ashamed of. Acting like who you are and what you're worth has nothing to do with the fact that your kid's gonna be a millionaire. That is something to be ashamed of. That's lame. Well, guys, what do you think? Are you motivated? Are you ready to go out and buy a house for 36 pennies a month and become a millionaire by the time you're 11? If not, that's fine, I guess, but Grant Cardone did tell me that he'd hate you, so you're gonna have to live with that. I can't wait for all the finance bros to invade the comment section of this video telling me I'm just jealous, I don't see the vision. I would genuinely rather die with $0 in my bank account than ever buy a course from one of these goofballs. It's called not being a dumbass. If you enjoyed this video, please...
That's true. Don't be a dumbass. Don't buy any of those courses. We'll summarize it now. Have a plan. Write the plan out. What is your end goal? Write every step on how to get to that end goal that you think that it's going to be. Put it on a whiteboard. Sleep. Wake up. Look at the whiteboard again. See what the end goal is and every step on how you got there. Fill in any of the missing blanks. Remove some stuff around. And then guess what? That's all the planning you need. Because the rest of it is action. Action, action, action. And let me tell you something right here, right now. This is something I've been working on for a hot minute. To me, this is the formula for success. In any aspect of life, you can apply what I'm about to say to quite literally every aspect of your life and you will find success. And it is a simple thing. It is intensity times consistency times discipline. How intense are you when you're doing the thing? Are you just kind of haphazardly do it? Are you just kind of, or are you fucking in it? Consistency. How many days are you stringing together? How many weeks are you stringing together? How many months, years, decades have you strung together to get this thing off the ground and moving? And the discipline. When you wake up and it's raining outside and you don't want to do dick because it's gray and gloomy, are you still doing the things you need to do because you know if we only did the things we needed to do when we wanted to do them, we'd never get shit done? You know what I'm saying? So if you're picking up what I'm putting down, if you like the way the words are flowing out my mouth, please like the video. Let me know if you guys are here live because this is going to be a YouTube video. Let me know in the Twitch chat. If you guys don't know, I do record this live. I'm live most days, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. We go until about midnight. We try to find shit on the internet that I want to put my 2 cents on. In this video, I'm so glad that I found because, god dang, it got me all fired up. It got me all fired up.